team, welcome back to the Mosaic. Remember, this is a place where we piece together our business and life, one intentional piece at a time, to create something masterful. And today's piece is health. And really specifically, how I finally lost 10 pounds that were like literally glued to me for years. And I'm going to be real and honest about what it took to actually do it. Now, I'm not a fitness coach. I'm not a nutritional coach. I am not going to tell you how to eat. I'm not going to provide you a meal plan. But if you're like me, like if you're busy, very busy, you have a full-time job, you may be running a business or more than one businesses, if you're taking care of a household, and you're doing all the things, and except seeing progress on the scale, this episode is for you. I mean, it is really for real people like you and I. This is not about a fitness influencer doing meal plans and how they prepare their each meal and exactly how they put them together. I'm not going to be doing that. I don't have time for that. I don't have this 6-pack. I'm warrior type. But this is for you. And if it is how I finally did what I thought wasn't possible for me. Okay, so if that's where you're at, okay, this episode is for you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of try to give you some real steps, okay? But this one is really going to be a straightforward one, right? Like, well, I'm going to start with a mindset, and then I'm going to end with a mindset. But I do want to say, before I get to the real step, I have 5 real steps that help me to drop the 10 pounds, okay? But before I get to that, I want you to know that I didn't do this by trying harder. I really did it by thinking differently. In fact, a little bit of a background story. For years, I believed this lie that this is just what it is, and that I was going through menopause, and I was now convincing myself that I'm post-menopause. I'm 40 something, and I work hard, and I was telling myself that I eat healthy-ish, and this is just my weight now. I just convinced myself and believed that this is how it is going to be. I, in fact, joined a weight loss class, paid for it, and attended a session with a coach. This is out of my own pocket, not something free that came my way, okay? And this coach told me that maybe it is because I was convincing. I've told the coach that, hey, I live a healthy lifestyle. I exercise. I eat healthy-ish. I think I eat healthy. And I exercise. I walk every day. I'm going through this. And maybe it is the way it is right now. And then the coach all of a sudden turned back to me and said, well, maybe this is your set point. And maybe this is where your body is supposed to be. Have you ever considered that? And even our master coach does it that way and says it this and that. So I was like, okay, every message was like, okay, maybe you just have to accept what's happening to you, which is very a powerless place to be when you think about it. But it also wasn't inspiring. In fact, it was very discouraging for me. And I wasn't in a place where I was happy. I didn't want to say I was unhappy, but I was in a place where I've never been before. And I was maybe say it, uncomfortable. I was starting to get to a place where I was feeling uncomfortable. And here is really what changed everything. Okay. And again, this is before I get to the real steps. And I'm going to give you the real steps. But before I get to that, really what changed everything is that I stopped hoping it would change, it would happen to me. And I started believing that I could make it happen. I mean, once I believed that I can, you lose this last, this, it's not the last 10 pounds, by the way. But once I believed that this is a possibility for me, that I can lose 10 pounds, I can be lighter no matter what's happening to me, I started acting like someone who had already lost the weight. I mean, it's really the game changer, and it's actually not like woo-woo. Like, it is actually, there is some science behind it. We can get to it in a different episode, but it really created momentum. I became believing in the fact that this is something that I can do, and it is possible for me to lose weight. And it's okay not to accept where I was at. Okay, I want you to really start there. Okay. Now let's get to the 5 real steps. And again, as I said, I'm still going to start with a mindset and end with a mindset. So the first one is believing, and I already started talking about that this is possible for you. Whatever your number is, it might be 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 40 pounds, 100 pounds. I don't care. It is possible for you to lose the weight that you want to lose. It is attainable. It is there for you to get it. If you believe your best health is behind you, you've already lost the game of weight loss. Okay? You have to believe that you can start here where you're at. You can start here, and that it is possible for you to get to where you want to get to. So many people have done it, and you can do the same. That is the mindset number 1. If you can't believe, you cannot achieve. Please, you have to believe in yourself. Okay, that is number 1. Okay. I'm not going to go to the next step because I was there. I didn't think that this was possible for me. That's why I accepted that, all the things that are happening to me around me, maybe this is where I need to be. No, I thought that's a very, very powerless position. A better health, better weight is possible for you. Okay? Don't settle, please. Okay? All right, I'm done. I'm done with this. Moving on to step number 2. Now, this is really going to sound harsh, but I mean, for real, it's very real, and it's an honest truth. If you do want to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. So you really have to get real with food and the calories. I know there's a ton of weight diets out there, and no diet is going to work for you unless it puts you in a calorie deficit state. Intuitive eating is beautiful. Like making sure that you eat when you're hungry, making sure that you stop when you're not full, all kinds of stuff. But it's not magic. Okay, I'm not giving you a meal plan, but I'm telling you that you have to understand the math behind weight loss. I want you to do a Google search. You can pause the episode if you can. If you can't, just make a note. If pause it and make a note to yourself. Please do a Google search and search for TDEE. T as in Tom, D as in Dimitri, E as in energy, E as in energy. And it stands for total daily energy expenditure. Okay, this is TDEE calculator. Search for that. What it will give you is your calorie needs. You have to know your numbers. And like you have to know the number that you need to be at calorie-wise in every day to lose weight, to be in a place to be at a calorie limit where you can maintain your weight. And you need to know that if you eat this many calories, you'll probably gain weight. But you have to know what those numbers are for you, right? So when you go to this TDEE calculator, it'll ask you your daily energy expenditure. It'll ask you your weight and so on. And everyone is different. So, but you have to understand that you have a calorie total daily energy expenditure number, and you need to know that number. Now, once you know that number, I want you to pair that with your protein intake a day. Yes, I mean, protein, it's not a fad. I know everyone is talking about that. But if you can consume 100 gram or more protein a day, what will happen in your body is that the protein will help you feel like you're full more throughout the day, and it will help you build muscle in your body. And once you do that, so if you take in your calories, daily calories from protein, it will help you build more muscle so you can consume more energy, right? So in fact, what will happen is probably your TDEE rate is going to increase because you can eat more probably to be still in the calorie deficit zone for yourself, right? Because your protein will help you build muscle, and then muscles, we know that will help you lose more fat. So that's kind of how it works. So that's super important that you do know your calorie intake number, and you need to be aware of your protein intake daily. Now, that kind of leads me through step number 3. So now, let me kind of do a quick wrap up. Okay, so first, you're now believing in yourself that this is possible for you. You can do this. I've done it. I didn't believe it was possible for me, but I've done it. So you can do the same. And number 2, you have to know your TDEE number, your daily energy expenditure, calorie intake number. What will put you in a weight loss zone? What will put you in a maintenance zone? And if you eat more than that, you need to understand that you're going to be gaining weight instead of losing weight. You have to know those numbers. And then you now know that you need to increase your protein intake. Okay, well, step number 3. Now, all this information that you have found out in the TDEE calculator is all good and fine. But if you're not tracking your numbers, you're really guessing. So I don't care how clean, quote unquote, clean you eat. If you're not tracking it, you don't know. Like, I thought I was a pretty good, healthy eater till I started really paying attention to what I was eating day in and day out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm eating this and this is this many calories. Like, what am I doing? This is annoying, right? But once you know, if you ate this many calories today, and then this was your calorie intake goal for that day to lose weight, if you are in that zone, you're going to lose weight. Isn't that nicer to know rather than guess? So you need that data. So what I started doing is tracking my calories daily using an app called MyFitnessPal. This is actually the second time I downloaded this app. It has improved quite a bit. And I have to tell you, it's annoying at first. It really is annoying to keep track of everything that you're eating, but I have to tell you, it works. And the other thing is, don't believe in the people that, this is not real life. Like, are you really gonna like track your daily intake calories every day for the rest of your life? I'm telling you, you don't have to, right? You don't have to track forever. But what you need to understand is you need to use this tool as like a helper, like someone that is really trying to help you to learn better about yourself, to understand and learn what's really going into your body, and stop playing this guessing game. And then, because guessing doesn't get you results. Being honest, being consistent really gets you the results. And knowing your data gets you the results. And I want you to see this app as like your friend and not your enemy. Isn't that great to like have something that is like helping you, giving you this data that's like amazing, something like it's good to know when you have a goal to be in a healthier version of yourself. So keep the learnings from this tool as long as you need to, and give it some time. Don't quit after 3 days, like after a week. Give it some time. Make it 6 months. How about that? Your body needs time. You need to understand the game, what's going on, how you're eating, what are your tendencies, right? Give it some 6 months. And then maybe you get so good at it, give it a year, however long it takes. And once you understand, okay, well, this is like what I eat in the mornings, and this, then you can guess, okay, this is like what gets me going. And once you get good at it, you can stop using MyFitnessPal. It doesn't have to be like forever thing. It really doesn't. Till you understand the game. And make it your friend, please. You have to track and stop guessing. And for that, you need the data. All right, I kind of pound on this topic enough already, so I'm going to keep going, okay? But that's really, that's super important, right? That's super important because you need to know that you're losing weight, right? Rather than guessing. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? So just download the app. I don't have any affiliate things or anything. I have nothing to gain, my friends. I have nothing to gain from telling you any of this stuff. I don't even have ads on this podcast. I just want to help you. Okay? Please, just try it. 6 months. Give it 6 months. Okay. Moving on. Number 4, move your body like you mean it. Yes, I'm going to talk about, of course I'm going to talk about exercise. Now, can you lose weight without exercise? Well, technically, yes, you can. So if you have done your TDEE, you know that where your weight loss calorie intake number is, and you're tracking your numbers with MyFitnessPal, and you're in that zone, you'll probably lose weight without exercising. So technically, yes, you can lose the weight without exercise. But exercise helps you with it and changes everything. You already know, if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, hot yoga has become one of my things. And I love doing it. And I really, really love it. Now, I'm adding some strength training with it because I want to build muscle. Because if you've been listening to my podcast, that's one of my goals, to be able to do some push-ups. Still having that goal in mind. But I've also added another goal, and that is 10,000 steps a day, and that's no excuses, my friends. Now, I love walking. But what was happening is, sometimes I would walk 7,000, sometimes 8,000, sometimes 12,000. It wasn't super consistent. It was still consistent, but it wasn't super consistent. But now I'm like, no, 10,000 steps a day. That is like my new standard. And I live in Florida, and as you know, Florida can get really hot during summertime. What I did is I found a walking pad for $50 off Facebook Marketplace. I put it in my bedroom. So on the days that I couldn't put my steps in, I turn on Netflix. This is like a great excuse for me to watch Netflix before I go to bed and get my step count in. And it's not about doing it perfectly, but it's about doing it consistently. And that kind of brings me to my last point. And I told you I'm going to end this episode and the 5 steps with a mindset next. And this mindset, that the step number 5 is really has 2 folds, okay? Now, one is, now, and I keep talking about this topic a lot, but it applies to, I guess it applies to everything that we do. It's whether business, life, weight loss, whatever you want to achieve. It is really true that this is not about perfection, right? So weight loss is not about perfection, but it is really about never quitting, right? That's because there were days I ate everything in sight. I did. And I still lost 10 pounds, right? So there were days I didn't hit my step count, even though I had my walking pad right next to my bed. I just had nothing left. There is no way I could get on that treadmill right back next to my bed. And I didn't hit my 10,000 step goal. But I never gave up. Now, I told myself that failure is not going to be real if I never quit. So think about that, right? And I didn't say, Arzu, you failed because you didn't do your 10,000 steps today. You're terrible. You were so bad. How terrible. What a shame. No, that's not how you talk to yourself, right? Well, instead, I told myself, you're doing great. And this is the best you can do today. And that's okay. Look how far you have come along. What did you learn from today? What could you have done differently, right? After an overeat, right? I ate everything in sight. It happened. I binge ate. Why did that happen, right? How can I make sure that that doesn't happen again? And that's okay. As long as I learn from that, Arzu, you're okay. You're okay. It's safe. It's safe. You're still on a great path forward. You're doing the best you can, and that's okay. And you're going to do great. You just have to pick back up yourself off the ground and get up and just get going, right? And then, so I told you the mindset is, the second part is about prioritizing yourself. Because there were mornings that I had to stay in the sauna instead of running back home to make breakfast for my son. And my son is 17 years old. And yes, I still like making his breakfast before school. Okay. But I knew that, hey, if I'm in here, I'm running a little bit late, but it's okay. I'm doing something better for myself, and he will survive. And it's okay if I don't make his breakfast this morning, right? Because I was doing something better for myself, and that's good for him too. Because if you don't take care of you, you can't really show up for anyone else, right? So you have to eat the best food. You have to eat. You take care of your body. You have to prioritize yourself. You have to make sure that you get the right positive people around you. That's part of one of the things, a different way of prioritizing yourself. Whatever that means for you, you have to do it. Okay. Let's get to the affirmations. How about that? And I want you to really say it with me. And I'm saying these things, I want you to say it, repeat it, feel it, believe in it, and be it, please. Okay. My body is my most precious possession, and I honor it. I am strong, capable, and committed to my health. I release perfection and embrace progress. I prioritize myself, and the world is better because I do. I will not give up on me. Okay, my friends. So action steps from this episode. So if you think about it, right, we had this 5-step process, right? So number 1, I really want you to believe in the possibility and write down your goals and say it out loud and believe that this is possible for you to achieve. And then I want you to go find that TDEE calculator and calculate your calories online and know your calorie numbers, targets, weight loss count target, maintenance target, and if you're above that, knowing that that's going to put you in a weight gain zone. And then download a food tracker app. Now, I use MyFitnessPal. I'm sure there's a gazillion others, right? If you want to try different ones, feel free to do so. But you have to start today. You have to know your numbers and stop guessing and knowing your numbers. Start knowing, right? Be in that zone. And then commit to a daily movement. Start with walks, whatever keeps your mind in a sharp state. Feeds your soul, whatever exercise that means for you. Get your steps in. And then repeat your affirmations every single day and watch your mind shift, right? So there's nothing in this episode, my friend, that you cannot Google. Like, I haven't told you anything new. But what I want you to do is, and what you can't Google is, I think, believe. And that's what I want to pour into you today. You can do this. Not because I said it, but because you already know that it is time for you to do that. And I've literally outlined every step that I'm taking on my journey to my target weight. And I'm not done. But if you need to hear this, 10 steps, 10 times a day, hit replay. You can go to my website, arzugazi.com. You can download my free business mindset affirmations. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you get your inspiration. I'm actually recording some of my walks with the affirmations over it. So you can see now you understand why I'm taking a lot of videos with me walking, right? Because I do that all the time now. And then the rest of the time, I just do what I do. I'm busy. But let's get strong together. Let's lose the weight, not just from our bodies, but from our minds. And I love you. I believe in you. I am cheering for you. And I'll see you next time, right here